Yo guys, what's going on? Back again with another video on the channel today. Hope you guys are doing good. I want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for the support on the latest video. It is our best performing video so far. Last I checked, I think it was over 1,000 something views, 50 likes or so, and we finally hit 100 subscribers. So I know that might sound little, but that was way more than I was expecting to get in this amount of time. So thank you guys so much for joining and being a part of this with me. That being said, today we have an interesting video. I hinted at it in some comments of the past video. I'm going to be doing a tactic video today to kind of show you guys the paper and pencil stuff that goes in behind my team. Real quick, I'm going to jump through my settings just in case y'all were curious about that. I get some questions here and there about camera and stuff like that. So let's jump into that real quick. Okay, so the camera we use, dynamic wide. I think, I can't remember how to find the custom settings on it, but it is 0 zoom 10 height. So it's the highest setting that you can get. It's the camera that I prefer to use the most, and it seems to work pretty well. So that's what I use for that. This is what my button layouts look like, nothing crazy. I come from FIFA, so for me, B is shooting. I know, I wanna say that the basic controls will put you on X, but I've been used to B, so I prefer B. Everything else I think stays the same. My controller does have back paddles, excuse me, for whatever button you want to choose. I use them for my triggers just because I play claw a lot of the times on this game and shooters, so I like using the back paddles so that I can just use my pointer finger to hit other buttons, but that's not really that important, but just wanted to share that. Okay, so let's jump into the actual meat and potatoes here, the tactics of the team. So I have been rocking with Xabi Alonso here. He is a quick counter manager. He was the meta for a long time, right before it changed from eFootball 24 to what is now eFootball, or just eFootball 25 if you want to call it that. So you can see he's got some proficiency in possession game, but really it's all into quick counter. The minimum number is 88 for the manager to get the max boost that you can for your players' overalls. So all the paid, like the coined managers, have that number and above for whatever their playstyle is. Okay, so say you just started today, brand new, and you need a manager. Especially if you're free to play. Let me go to the manager list here. Your main four are going to be right here. They used to have Klopp, but of course he's gone now, so he's not an option anymore. Starting out, Luis Roman, who is Pep Guardiola pretty much, has 88 strength in possession game, so he's the only manager that will give you that full +4 boost of overall onto your players. Everyone else is going to be, I think it's +2 or 3 for players, or for managers with 85, or I think it's just 85. Yeah, these 80 ones are going to give you like +2 at most, but these 85 ones, like Inzaghi and Chilton, they'll give you, I want to say it's 3. I'm not too entirely sure. However, they will give you a boost. But let's talk really quick about what playstyle these guys will actually cater to. So Pep is going to base around possession. Valbuena, who is Simeone, is going to do long ball counter. Inzaghi out wide. And Chilton quick counter. Those 4, I believe, are the strongest playstyles to go for. You also have long ball with Helson here, but I don't really know too much about long ball, so I'm not really going to focus on that. I'm just going to talk about these 4 here. So starting with possession, the 2 things that you're going to need if you prefer this playstyle is high passing and then high positional awareness depending on the player. So if they're an attacker, attacking positioning, and if they're a defender, defensive awareness. Those 2 are all you need. You don't really need a lot of pace for this playstyle because the ball's moving for you, but you definitely need players with high passing. High dribbling helps as well to help keep possession of the ball, but pace is not as important because the ball is moving for you, like I said. So that's your guy if you want to go with that. Long ball counter, definitely pace. Passing is somewhat important, but pace and dribbling are going to be your main focuses because you're just getting the ball out, running down the wing, running in, cutting in, doing a little skill move, playing the ball, shooting, goal. So I played long ball counter for a long time, but as you can see, already signed for Valbuena. He was my guy for a while until I switched over to Xavi, and now I play quick counter. Out wide, your most important things for this are passing and dribbling, of course. Awareness comes into play as well. But really, the main highlight here is crossing on the wingers, and then having a striker that can win balls in the air. So if you got a guy up top like Sorloth, like a really good Holland card, if you have Kohler or you're waiting on Kohler, I'm sure Kohler will come back out and out wide. You'll see more people playing out wide because essentially we're forcing the ball out wide. Wingers stay wide. They cut in or play the long ball in or cross, play the cross into the middle, and it's a free header every time. So if you like that, he's your guy there. I personally have never really preferred that play style in all my years of playing football games. So I don't prefer it, but it's a viable option. And then lastly, Chilton, quick counter. This is all pace, dribbling. I mean, it's getting the ball. Actually, passing comes into play too. It's just playing quick tiki-takas, playing quick triangles, getting the ball up, and then breaking the defense and then scoring. So depending on what play style you like the most, I would say the meta right now is probably long ball counter, quick counter, but I don't really think that's super important. I think it comes really down to how you play personally, but that's just my opinion. So pick your guy out of these four. You can get 230 GP pretty quick in this game. So, and then the paid managers, there's only Stevie G in the store, and he is, as far as paid managers go, Stevie G is the only one, and he is, what is he? He's long ball and possession, so he might be pretty good. He does give a booster for dribbling, and then yeah, so he's definitely good. We also have this Arteta here. I can tell you right now, this Arteta is the most meta manager in the game right now because of the double booster. He gives a +1 in acceleration and a +1 in tight possession, and then he's got 88 in long ball counter. So this guy is definitely the most meta guy, but you're forking over 1,500 just for a manager, really. Because, I mean, I guess you could use these guys. I mean, you see Saka, Rice, Odegaard, Saliba. All four of those guys are going to be at 100 rating. And then you have Havertz, Calafiori. They're going to be at 99. So they'll still be pretty good. I am kind of an overall merchant, so. But if you have the coins, definitely go for Arteta. Now let's look at some of our individual instructions. So first one, here's our offensive one. This is on defense for Cafu. The instructed player will refrain from pushing forward in offense. Cafu is an attacking fullback, so he's gonna want, or offensive fullback, so he pushes up and down all the time. I personally think if you have an offensive fullback, just put that instruction on him. Keep him back because you don't want to get caught out, right? And you're going to gas him out by having him run up and down the wing. Play him with that instruction, but if you need him to push the ball up, what I do, and you'll see in my videos, and I'll talk about it more in the future, if I need Cafu to come up because maybe I'm trying to force an attack a little bit more, I'll just hit RB with my pass, and it kind of does the 1-2. So holding that button for me, whatever it is for you, I'm not sure, but holding that button and passing it to someone. So, if I'm here on the field with Cafu, I'm probably going to pass it to Bellingham. So when I'm passing it to Bellingham, I'm going to hold RB, press A, and Cafu's going to run, and he's going to hold his arm out being like, yo, give me the ball. And he's just going to keep going until I pass it to him or we lose the ball. That is your best bet because you get the best of both worlds as you keep him in defense where his position is, but if you need him to attack, you can still do that. So that's what I do there. That's why I have that instruction on that. The other defensive stat is for Costa Curta, just to keep him back for the same reason. Now, like I was saying, he is a center back technically, so he's going to stay back anyway, but just to be sure. Now our next two, we'll start with deep line here. because I was talking about it. Deep line here, the instructed player will drop back to a position that allows him to join the defense with ease. This cannot be assigned to a DF player. It also cannot be assigned to a midfielder player when playing with 5 at the back. So what does that mean? That means Vieira is going to play more defensively because he can join the defense quicker than if he were higher up the pitch, pretty much. Really, you want to do this if you have a true DM who isn't so great going forward. Now, Vieira, if he gets the ball, he has the pace to carry it forward, but he doesn't have the highest dribbling, he doesn't have the highest passing, he doesn't have the highest shooting. So why am I going to have him push up higher up the field? I'd rather him just sit in front of the center backs and block everything before it even gets to them. So that's what I do there. Next defensive one is counter target. So the instructed player will stay in the vicinity of the opposition's box rather than dropping back to help the defense. It means that these forwards do not use up energy running back and forth. So what does that mean? It just means they don't help defend. They're like James Harden up there. Yeah, it just means they just stay up. They don't help with the defense. What that does is it really helps keep their stamina. If you've watched my games, I almost always sub out Rummy and Messi, but Ronaldinho can keep playing because he's not helping out defensively as much at all. Now, what does that mean with attacking as well? It means he's already there. I don't need him to wait to get all the way up because he's already going to be most likely on the back line waiting for the ball and making a run. So in this formation, I would say it's best to use that for one of your wingers because your center forward is already going to stay up anyway. He's not really going to defend. So use that on one of your wingers out here. As far as like players like Cruyff, the whole player position play style is going to do the instructions for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And then Bellingham, the box to box, will do the instructions for you as well. He's going to defend and attack, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so if we go over to sub tactic, you'll see you will be able to set a secondary preset tactic, sub defensive, which means you will be able to switch between tactics during a match. So what does that mean? If you hold down on the D-pad for a couple seconds, it'll just flash defensive and it'll switch to your sub tactic, which is pretty much a second set of tactics, second formation set that you can play with. Now, why would you use this? If you're playing against an opponent, you feel like nothing's working, there's no creativity, nobody's doing anything. Instead of going into your game plan and switching everything around, you just switch to your sub tactic just to try it out. So for me, it is kind of like a 3-4-3, as you can see, where I have 3 at the back, 4 midfielders, 3 attackers. I have Cafu and Bellingham out wide to kind of just run down the flanks. And then I have Cruyff kind of as my cam, Vieira as my DM, and then my 3 attackers stay the same. So this is a little bit more of a wider formation for me. I now have 4 midfielders, so I kind of flood the midfield a little bit more. But those guys are going to be running up and down. Cafu and Bellingham running all the way up and down. As far as individual instructions, I only have counter target on Messi just to keep him up there. But I probably would, I don't know, I kind of want everyone to stay. Actually, you know what? I'm only going to do deep line on Vieira to keep him back. I don't want him pushing up. As far as Bellingham and Cafu go, they're going to run up and down automatically. Cruyff is going to sit there, and then those guys will sit there too. So, all right, so that's kind of all the tactics. As we get through the videos, you know, I'll point out why things are going the way they are. You know, I try to give tips as much as I can. Today we're just focusing on the tactics, no gameplay, just to make it an informational video. So before I send you guys off, I am going to give some recommendations for meta players and free-to-play players for you, all you free-to-play players out there in all these positions. So let's start off with goalkeeper. I would say your most meta 3, Czech, Schmeichel, Kahn, and Dida. So that's 4. I can't count. And then your free-to-play, I would say if you are free-to-play, Courtois is your main man if you can afford him, GP-wise. If not, go with Donnarumma. I'll make him your like mid-tier. As far as cheap beast goes, Milinkovic-Savic, because of the height. He has 202 centimeters, and he's on A rating right now. So this is your cheap beast for free-to-play. You can make a pretty decent card. He won't be the highest rated, but he'll do the job. For center backs, you have a lot of choices, but in my opinion, the top 5, and not in any order, are Maldini, Nesta, Thuram, Cannavaro, and Puyol. And then your free-to-play ones are, so your most expensive one is going to be Saliba or Van Dijk. They kind of go hand in hand. If you need someone pacier, go with Saliba. If you need someone that's more of a rock in the back, go with Van Dijk. Your mid-tier, your higher mid-tier is going to be Rudiger. Your lower mid-tier is going to be, where's he at? Nathan Ake or Alaba. They're both pretty solid, and they're pretty overall strong center backs. They're pretty good at playing the ball out, pretty decent defensively as well. And then your cheap beasts are Lucas Hernandez, decent pace, decent defending, just overall pretty good player to get you started. And Benjamin Pavard, there he is. So Benjamin Pavard and Lucas Hernandez, definitely your best options for cheap beasts there in center back. Left back, oops, he went back to left back. I need to put him a little bit, there we go. Left back, your best options are Costa Curta, any kind, Roberto Carlos, and then maybe you can make an argument for Dennis Law. And then your free-to-play ones are definitely Teo Hernandez as your number one. Your mid-tier is going to be Udogi or, where is he at? Balde's pretty good. Very high pace, very good dribbling, decent passing. Not very good defensively, though. So I would say your mid-tier is probably going to be, let's just go with Udogi there. And then your cheap beast, Furlan Mendy's pretty strong. Spinazzola is also pretty decent as well. And then you can even get along with this Jordi Alba as well. So I don't know. Left back is one of those positions where it's like you could say it's not important, but then the minute you have someone that's not that good, you're just getting cooked. So try to your best to get the best left back that you can afford. But there's definitely plenty of good options out there. Right back, your best options are Cafu, Lam, Thuram can even play out there. Puyol could even play out there. Araujo can play out there. But I would say stick with one of those epics. And then your free-to-play ones are, I would skip Kimmich, I would skip Trent, and I would even skip Hakimi. I would say your top of the line should be Koundé, because he has just enough pace where he feels fast enough, but he's also pretty strong defensively. Trent, not that strong defensively. Kimmich, not that strong pace-wise. Hakimi, not that strong defensively. Koundé is kind of the best all around in that position. And then as far as mid-tier goes, I'd probably use Frimpong is decent because he's fast and has good dribbling. João Cancelo also pretty good overall. And then Tomiyasu is actually my pick. Oh wait, there's two Tomiyasus. Are these different than each other? Or are they the same? Oh, okay, one's an Asian Cup. Okay. Tomiyasu, pretty good overall fullback. Has good stats all around, and then he could even play center back too if you need him. I don't know. Would I say he's a cheap beast? I mean, he's only 70,000 GP. I don't know. He kind of floats in mid to cheap. Mazraoui, decent. And then Lucas Vasquez is pretty decent too. He's a pretty good cheap option that you can go with as well. All these guys don't even bother. Then as far as DMs go, obviously number one has to be Vieira. I mean, like I always say, he is the most undisputed number one in his position in this game. But also Makalele and Rijkaard also are, in my opinion, the best players in this position. You could also use Rodri. There's Casemiro cards out there that fit pretty well in there too. But yeah, your free-to-play player, I would say your number one, skip Rodri, skip a normal Rodri and try to get a special one. Declan Rice could be decent. I don't really see it too much, but I would say Tchouaméni should be your number one as far as free-to-play goes. Mid-tier, go with a Caicedo or a Tonali. And then cheap beast, go with Basuma or where is he at? Conte. I would say those are your cheap beasts. You can make a pretty decent Conte card for free. Center mid, now the list goes super long for this. I would say, in my opinion, Bellingham special cards are very high up in this position. Hullet, Beckham, Iniesta, probably forgetting some, but let's take a look at the free to play. So obviously with where's Bellingham? Is he an AMF? Yeah, Bellingham should be your #1 pick if you're going free to play. He is a lot of GP, but if you want to stick with free to play, he's your #1. But let's go back to CMF really quick. Oops. Aside from Bellingham, your mid-tier should be Valverde or De Jong. If you need more defensive, go De Jong. If you need more pace, go Valverde. Both pretty strong overall though. And then your cheap beasts, I'm actually going to give a few out for these because there's a couple of them. Llorente is good. He's got a lot of pace. You got Goretzka is good. Ooh, I forgot to give Zakaria a shout for cheap beast as well in DMF. Zakaria is pretty good as well. Now AMF, this is also very strongly personal preference. In my opinion, the best that I've used in this position, Maradona, Cruyff, Scholes. I've seen people cook with Platini as well. Platini seems really good in this position. And then Zico. And then you're free to play. So Bellingham kind of falls back into this list as well because he's very strong going forward. But if you want to build him as an AMF, you'd have to change the build around. So I'll mention him, but I would say your best free to play is going to be Musiala. I would say put the bar to him because Bellingham's almost double. So try to get Musiala if you can. Mid-tier, Cole Palmer is really strong. I would skip all of these guys. Xavi Simons is decent. Arda Güler is decent. Eze is pretty strong. And then cheap beasts, I would go with actually, you know what? Brahim Diaz. He's a little bit more expensive, but I think he is probably your strongest. Him and Eze are pretty close in price. So I'm going to say him and Eze are your cheap beasts here. Now, SS/swingers, it all kind of depends on what you're playing at. But you got Vinny, you got Dino, you got Messi, you got, I mean, the list just goes on. Neymar. I mean, you know, Mbappe, you could play Mbappe out here on the wings. There's just so many players you can use this position. It's hard to pick some off the top of my head. In my opinion, this Dino and this Messi are by far my two favorite players I've ever used in this game. They will never leave my team. I mean, Messi being my favorite player of all time, of course, will never leave my team. But these two guys are just unreal and so much fun to use. As far as cheap beasts go, let's go to... I'm actually going to put left wing, right wing, and SS kind of cover all bases here. So obviously your most expensive here is going to be Vinny. He's obviously cream of the crop as far as wingers go. Salah is pretty decent as well. He does come out with a lot of, you know, there is that free Salah that you can get in the daily games. So if you're thinking about getting Salah, just wait till you get him from the puzzle or from the penalty kick, the daily pens, and then you won't have to worry about that. I would skip this Messi because we've gotten a million free Messi, so no point in spending 300K on one. Kvaratskhelia, I never really got along. Son, I'm gonna put him as like the lower upper tier. Son is always pretty good in this game. Strong on both legs, can pass, can shoot outside the box, great curl, and just overall a fun card to use. And then mid-tier, we'll go with Lamine Yamal, is fun to use. Again, Neymar, I don't know, he's gotten free cards out in the past. Hopefully you have one if you want to use him. I can't imagine you can get a very strong Neymar out of the free-to-play one. Luis Diaz, very decent. Usman, very decent. And then, you know what, there's got to be, Anthony Gordon. Pace demon. I mean, it's just up and down the wings, and I've gotten cooked by him. Even just this normal card, I've gotten cooked by him. Your low tier, or your cheap beasts are going to be Lookman. Let's see. Chukwueze, Barcola, And then if we need to go cheaper than that, sorry about that, fire truck. If you need to go cheaper than that, go with the GOAT. I mean, do I have to say any more? Nah, let me chill. St. Max, I would say, why does he look like that on his card? Looks weird. Looks AI generated or something, I don't know. St. Max, I would say, is bar none. If you need it cheap, go with him. And that leads us to our center forward, the last position. Let me move it over. Yep. So like I was saying, this for me, I think is most personal preference. Whatever your playstyle caters to, mess around with a lot of different playstyles, mess around with a lot of types of builds, and find out which type of 9 fits best for you. Rummy is kind of small, but he has decent physical contact, and he's strong, and he's fast, and that works enough for me. He's not the best dribbler. I mean, you look at those dribbling stats and you kind of want to throw up, to be honest, but he kind of, I don't know, he kind of like he kind of plays above those as far as dribbling goes. I don't know if you guys have ever played Rummy. I'm sure you've gotten cooked by him because he's pretty broken, but he could finish, good on both feet. He's got outside curler, so he does the job for me. Now, as far as free to play goes, obviously Mbappe is going to be your number one. Actually, Mbappe and Haaland, depending on which one fits your playstyle more. Harry Kane, never really got along with him. Lautaro, I love him in real life. Not really that great in this game. Son, I don't like playing him up top. Lewan, not that great, too slow. Osimhen, too slow. Alvarez, let's go with these two as your upper, and then your lower upper is going to be Alvarez, and you could probably say Isaac, or maybe even Ronaldo. You can give a shot for Ronaldo. And then your mid tier is going to be Thuram, Darwizi, Gyökeres, I think is how you say it. You could build a good car with him. And then your low end is going to be Højlund. Actually, Højlund is, he should be, I don't know why, something about this card. I think it's his size and like his finishing and pace. This guy is a cheap beast for sure. If you need a cheap striker and you want someone to carry you through the lower divisions, definitely give Højlund a shout. I mean, he's only 70, so you know, you could always get your player. If it doesn't work, just legacy transfer and then use that GP in training into the next guy. Endrick, you could also get a shout to because he's got decent shooting and decent pace. All right, y'all. Hope you guys got something out of this. Like I said, I will be giving more feedback and tips and tricks and all that good stuff in the games as we go on in these videos. Also, be on the lookout for some live streams. I'm going to try and live stream on Friday. You know, there you guys can ask questions and I can give real-time feedback, and then, you know, we could just chill and have a good time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got something out of it. As always, like, share, subscribe. Thanks again so much for 100 subscribers. I mean, you guys are awesome. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey. I look forward to the next videos that are coming out, and I look forward to the feedback you guys will give me. That being said, be safe out there. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one, and take care.